Yeah.
Very, very pleasant afternoon to all of you. I'm extremely happy to be part of this international webinar, and I am thankful to Professor Krishna Sharma sir for giving me an opportunity to present my thoughts in this international webinar. Professor Krishna Sharma sir, my dear colleagues, friends, and my dear students and participants of this international webinar. In this session today, we will discuss and will give a glimpse about research opportunities currently available in yoga field. So far in the last 5 days, you have heard much about yoga, yogic perspectives, components of yoga, and so on. But this is slightly different from other presentations, whatever you have heard. This is much about the opportunities after yoga courses, as well as what are the research extensions that can be taken as a career, as well as in our area of interest. We all know that yoga is Indian science and ancient wisdom originated in India, and now we are making this ancient wisdom into evidence based science, that is, with the technological advancement and scientific tools, with the proof of science, we are making yoga an evidence based science. Yoga is a way of life. It became an established academic pedagogy in the recent past, that is, for say maybe 30 to 40 decades. Since then, yoga has been established as a academic pedagogy courses. Since the subject is very vast, it need a deeper and wider range of research activities to be established and to make authenticity in a very proper and systematic way. So research is required in yoga field. Even though there are and there was a lot of studies already conducted in yoga, still we have to go a long way in yoga research. It is said that yoga is to be experienced as per the wisdom, or the as per the literature. Yoga is to be experienced. To make yoga a evidence based science, we need the proof of science, that is, by using the advancement of technology, the scientific tools, we need to experiment it. So the research is required. The main objective of this my presentation is to make researchers aware about the scope of research in yoga, to make researchers aware about the avenues that is available in the nation and also abroad for yoga research, to inspire the researchers about research in alternative and complementary medicine by including yoga as an add-on or adjunct therapy module. We all know that yoga research is a systematic investigation into and study of particular materials and sources in order to establish a scientific facts and reach new conclusions. This is a general definitions for all types of research. To compare our yoga subject into other subjects, so a systematic research dimension is very much required. Research in yoga is majorly three types, that is, literature research, basic research, and clinical research. One can take a literature research as for his career or to do research. Another is a basic research, another is a clinical research. These three are major category in the research field. Importance of literature research. The real source of yoga is an ancient literature, that is wisdom of Indian science. There are so many manuscripts which need a detailed analysis. The literature is available, but how to put forward in a systematic way, that is required. Usually, manuscripts has elaborated as a philosophical aspect as well as its application aspects. The philosophy is available, it has to be put forward towards the application part. How that is useful or how it is beneficial has to be tested properly. The application of yoga has to be supported by the evidence from the available resources, that is available literature. That can be manuscripts, that can be textbooks, that can be books or whatever, journals or whatever it may be, but that has to be transformed into evidence based science. Therefore, to establish the authority and antiquity of yoga and yoga therapy, a proper literature research is essential. So, whatever it has been explained in, for example, in Geranda Samhita, Hatha Yoga Pradipika, and so on, it has to be tested whether the benefits of particular asana is the same whatever is told in the ancient scriptures. That has to be tested. So, here is an example translating the literature into science. A person is performing Shirshasana. So, what are the autonomic changes happening? Measures what happens to his respiration, what happens to heart rate, what happens to the blood flow. That has to be scientifically tested in the laboratory. So, the literatures are available, it has to be put forward into a science. Patanjali has explained Ashtanga Yoga very well, but stages has to be tested. What happens to the activity, autonomic nervous system, central nervous system, as well as the nervous system overall, to say that while performing meditation at different phases, Chanchalata, Ekagrata, Dharana, and Dhyana, what are the changes happening in galvanized skin resistance level, respiratory level, rate, then heart rate, sympathetic, parasympathetic, all things, what happens, that has to be put forward. Second is the basic research. Basic research is related to the study regarding the general aspects. In a common language, I can say it is on the healthy volunteers. It can be children's, it can be adolescent people, it can be old age people also, but majorly on the healthy volunteers subjects. Understanding the impact of yoga in general, that is physical and mental well-being, can be included in this category. Just an example. Variable used in this type of study is easily available. For example, in the picture I have shown, the sit and reach test. When you bend forward, how much the flexibility is gained, that we measure. After the yoga practice, whether a person has achieved the flexibility, that we measure. That is basic research. Here, in the same way, when you do pranayama, breath holding also, kumbhaka, what happens to the swimmers, that has been studied. So, is whether the heart rate, breath rate, what happens, that has to be tested. So, the research is required. So, these are at the cognitive levels, that is electrophysiological measurements by putting the electrodes on the scalp area, then the cerebral blood flow measurement, that is cerebral hemodynamics, is measured by different scientific components like EEG, evok potential, and so on. Here, psychological changes. What happens to the eye-hand coordination? What happens to the emotions? What happens to the your psychological, that is motor learning ability? So all those things are tested scientifically in a psychological laboratory by using psychometrics tools. here physiological, psychophysiological, that is what happens to the energy expenditure, what happens to the ECG, electrocardiogram, and evoke potential, what happens to when you do some activity like when you do ergocycling, when you run in a treadmill, what happens to your heart rate, breath rate, energy expenditure, oxygen consumption, and so on. That has to be tested in a laboratory. So all these things are tested, and it is categorized under basic research. So when you do squatting, what happens? And finally, in a subtle energy level. So we say that the aura or the prana is available. So, but how, what are the impacts that has to be tested? So a proper tool or the instrument is required to test the aura or the energy level, prana level. So that is before the yoga practice, after the yoga practice, during the yoga practice, we test. So all those things are under basic research. Next is clinical research. So this type of research are focused on doing a focused study about a clinical condition. Majorly, the applications of yoga, like impact of yoga on, for example, diabetes mellitus, bronchial asthma, obesity, arthritis, so on, even to the cancer, yoga therapy for cancer, yoga therapy for different psychosomatic ailments. So all these things are comes under clinical conditions. So with the background of types of research, we will move on to who can do research, where can do research. So where we can do the research in academic institutions, research institutions, collaborating with research institutions. For example, if you are a of a small institution, or if you are of individual, you can collaborate with the available research institutions and conduct research. Research in academic institutions, I mean to say that a PhD scholar, after your master's degree, one can join for PhD and conduct a in-depth research in particular topic that is of his choice or as per the department or guide's choice. So as per your choice, you can take up the topic and get approval from the recognized academic institution like universities, deemed universities, central universities, state universities, and so on, and conduct research and publish the findings. Or you can work as a teaching faculty in academic institutions in any universities or any colleges as a assistant professor, associate professor, and professor, and deans, and so on. Or you can also work as a contractual faculties or a guest faculties, temporary faculties, and so on, and to conduct a small kind of a small research or a basic research can be conducted. Research in research institutions, you can be as a junior research fellow, JRF, at the beginning. After your master's level, if you go and join in a research institute to conduct the research, they will preferably, most of the places, they will be giving as the designation as junior research fellow, JRF. Next, after some time, you will be promoted as senior research fellow and finally to research associate. Collaborating research institutions, for example, you have an idea, you can jointly work with the research of your interest with the research institute. You can network your own like-minded people and conduct the research, and you can have a memorandum of understanding, MOU, and collaborate and do multicentric trials also. Project collaborations can be done. Prestigious institutions in India are like central universities, like recently started the yoga departments, IITs like Kharagpur, Delhi, Mumbai, Kanpur, and all, AIIMS, All Indian Institute of Medical Sciences, state universities like Mangalore University, and so on, private institutions like S. Vyasa, Kaivalya Dhamma, and so on, and central institutions deemed like NIMHANS, National Institute of Mental Health and Neurosciences. You can collaborate and start the research in these prestigious institutions. So to conduct research, you need some amount, some funding, some contingency amount is required. So funding agencies are majorly like DST, Department of Science and Technology, under the scheme Satyam. DST has also a DBT, Department of Biotechnology. DST has SERB for the senior research fellows they are giving. Then Ayush has like a extramural research project. The ICMR, Indian Council of Medical Research, is giving funding as a extramural research project, also as ad hoc product, also as a advanced center for research in yoga also. It can be 3 years, 5 years, depending on your project. And Indian Council of Philosophical Research, ICPR, is giving funding for the literature research, for conducting the literature research. And to some extent, partially, UGC also is supporting the teachers for conducting research. Next, we have come to know where to do research, how to do collaboration, and where are the funding agencies, where are the institutions available. Now, how to become a PhD scholar. If you have your interest in research activities is a primary requirement. So interest for research is very much required after your master's degree. So master's degree should have minimum of 55%. You should write an entrance test. And currently, UGC is conducting NET, National Eligibility Test, since 2016 in yoga. And you can write that and you can be eligible to become a PhD scholar. And there are few scholarships and fellowships available both in the government and private institutions and funding agencies. And some NGOs also are funding some amount for the research in yoga. What are the future directions? We have seen that there have been research institutions, etc. But and enough publications are being done on the applications of yoga, that is for the bronchial asthma, diabetes, cardiovascular system, and so on. And current trend is to reach at the genetic level. That is what happens before and during and after the yoga practice at the gene level. Genetic composition, that is molecular biological science or molecular biology research is being carried out. At the gene level, what are the changes happening? So these are some of the dimensions that can be listed as a yoga as a spirituality, yoga as life sciences, yoga as physical sciences, yoga as management, and yoga as humanities. These are the research areas available. These are few other research areas on basic research, that is physiological, then psychological, rehabilitation, that is also most important area, therapeutic applications, and higher states of consciousness. These are few publications which have been already done, published on a basic research, that is research on performance and skill tasks, research for computer professionals who are sitting longer duration, research on children, research on stress management, research for older people. These are few glimpses how a research laboratory and how we conduct the yoga research. Even while meditating, the functional magnetic resonance imaging was tested, and the changes have been studied. This is especially on the while practicing dharana, dhyana, what are the changes happened, that was tested. Even during extreme conditions like a tsunami hit, to cope the situations, uh, we conducted research. The first research was started in 1924 at Kaivalyadama by Swami Kuvalyananda, and this is the oldest journal which published in 1924 on yoga. And these are some of the institutions. And even in Mumbai, Santa Cruz, 1918, the yoga research was started. And yoga therapy research are carried out at Esvasa, Mangalore University Yoga Department, and so on. These are some of the areas that is yoga has reached to at the extreme conditions where it is minus 35 degree Celsius at Antarctica that research has been carried out. These are some of the foreign collaborations who are already conducting, and you can also take up the research projects, international collaborations. These are some of the national collaborations that is happening, and we are trying to uh, bring the best of the East, that is wisdom of yoga, into best of the West, that is through the science, proving yoga a evidence-based science. Thank you very much for patient hearing.